Good evening and welcome to Maholo News. I'm Jackson Seymour.
I'm Cameron Cole.
And tonight's top story is murder. Take it away, Cameron.
Good evening, I'm Cameron Cole. The top story of the day is the murder of our very own Mount Horeb man, Frederick Bob. Frederick Bob was shot in the head with a pistol after being confronted by criminal LaQuintus James on June 1st at approximately 11:11 p.m. in the Quick Trip parking lot. Witnesses say that James and Bob engaged in a very furious argument and a few punches were thrown. After approximately 2 minutes of the fight, James pulled out a pistol and fired 3 shots at Frederick Bob's head. James fled the scene and MHPD and an ambulance arrived several minutes later. Bob was pronounced dead on the scene as the damage to his brain was far too severe. MHPD believes the homicide involved the manufacturing and selling of drug paraphernalia. James is still on the run, and if you have any idea of his location, please contact MHPD right away.
A truly saddening story right there, Cameron. In more bad news, Miller & Sons was robbed on May 23rd at approximately 5:30 p.m. A man who is now identified as P.J. Simpson broke into the grocery store with multiple guns. Witnesses say that Simpson demanded that everyone in the store to get down, which they reluctantly did. Simpson then proceeded to command the cashiers throughout the store to open the cash registers and the store's vault. They did so, and Simpson quickly stole the money, stored it in his bag, and left the store, kicking and shoving any person in his path. He was last seen wearing a red sweatshirt and black jeans, and was believed to have driven off in a gray Ford Taurus, with a large dent on the driver's side door. Authorities arrived on the scene moments later. Some aided the few minor wounds that had occurred, and upon hearing information from the store workers, some officers left in pursuit of Simpson. However, Simpson has still not been found. Police are still searching for him and kindly ask anyone to be on the lookout, and if they have any information or know anything about him, that they report it to the authorities.
In other more positive news, our very own Ronald Donegan was found wandering around a forested area just outside of Mount Horeb after having been missing for 13 days. Smithers Sullivan found Ronald Donegan on May 28th at approximately 6 p.m. Smithers Sullivan was hunting with Donegan when Donegan wandered off deeper into the forest and became lost. Let's go to Hunter at the scene.
Thanks, Cameron. Sullivan stated that he had searched for 4 hours when he first realized Donegan was missing. He then returned every day for 13 days in a period to search for Donegan. Just as he was beginning to lose hope, Sullivan found Donegan laying unconscious in the grass. Sullivan immediately took Donegan to the hospital where he regained consciousness, and thankfully he was reported with no serious injuries and was able to return that night. Nice going, Mr. Sullivan. Back to you in the studio.
What a nice, heartwarming story there, Cameron. A new restaurant opened up on May 28th. Steve's Steaks became the newest addition to the restaurants of Mount Horeb. It is located on Perimeter Street and extends off of the Caracol Country Inn. The owner, Steve Wiggins, was very excited to open up the new restaurant. He says that it was time for Mount Horeb to finally have a steakhouse. On the morning of May 28th, hundreds of people gathered around to celebrate the grand opening. And after the end of the day, 800 people had already dined at the restaurant, and nearly all of them left happy and full. According to Wiggins, the restaurant specializes in exquisite steaks that they grill to the customer's request. Also, they serve burgers, salads, and chicken. The store is open daily from noon to 10 p.m.
It's that time of the year again. The Marvelous Mavis Teacher of the Year Award is here. And who else but the high school's John Malecki could win the award? Malecki won the student vote unanimously with 432 of the 512 votes. Senora Johnson came second with being able to muster up 77 votes, and Mr. Keeley came third with 3 votes. Mr. Malecki performed outstandingly, teaching in the classroom as well as a soccer coach and being director of the freshman class this year. Malecki was awarded with the annual Marvelous Mavis Award given to the most outstanding teacher of the year each year on May 30th at 12 p.m. in the high school auditorium. A crowd of students, teachers, and others filled up the auditorium to see Malecki receive the award. After being awarded, all Malecki could say is, Even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while.
A big congratulations goes out to Mr. Malecki. Now I'm here in Grundle Park where an interesting discovery has been made. Local Mount Horeb citizen Abraham Frank was walking through the park when he suddenly decided that he wanted to start digging. He wanted to see if he could find something interesting. Now he did find something, and it caught him completely off guard. What he found were human bones. He took the bones to the nearest museum to have them examined. After a few hours, the museum workers came back with unbelievable news. They had determined that the bones were likely from early hominids, and perhaps they even could have belonged to the earliest humans. Amazed by the news, Frank decided to sell the bones to the Smithsonian Museum. This out-of-the-blue discovery has led to Frank gaining popularity in Mount Horeb and thousands of scientists across the globe that have gone to see the remains.
Coming up after the break, sports.
Are you looking for a new shot put? Do you want to increase that PR? Well, we got the product for you. It's the titanium shot put. Well, let's watch.
Wow, that's far!
But wait, call 555-5555 and you'll receive a second titanium shot put for free.
That's a good deal. Call now!
On Tuesday, May 17th, the Mount Horeb track and field team hosted a triangular meet with Monroe and Dodgeville Mineral Point. The boys team and the girls team both had very good success, with some runners placing in the top 3 in multiple events. Starting with the girls, they won the triangular meet by winning the final event, the 4x400 meter relay, with a time of 4 minutes and 45 seconds. They also had more first place finishes, most notably sophomore Nadi Williams winning first in the 100 meter dash with a time of 12.35 seconds. Also first in the 200 meter dash with a time of 25.25 seconds. And also she placed first in the long jump with a jump of 18 feet 2.5 inches. The girls team also placed first in the 4x200 meter relay and placed second in the 4x100 meter relay. The boys team had some of the same success and more. Senior Ryan Epping was one of those runners, placing first in the 110 meter hurdles with a time of 15.35 seconds and placing first in the triple jump. Also, senior Isaiah Lejeune won the long jump and also the high jump. Boys team placed first in the 4x1, 4x2, and 4x400 meter relays. The boys and girls team looks to keep this success up going into the state meet. The boys golf team started out slow but then picked it up towards the end of the season. Here's Hunter with more.
Boys Mount Horeb golf team had a roller coaster of a season, placing well at invites but falling by a few strokes to many conference foes. But the JV team looks hopeful to the future as they went 6-1 in conference matches. And here to talk about the season, Cameron Cole and Jackson Seymour. So, Jackson, Cameron, what spot on the team were you both this year?
Well, I'm JV4.
And I was the JV5.
So what does that mean?
Well, basically, I was the 4th best person on JV, and Cameron was the 5th best.
So overall, what would that place
Overall,
you?
It made Jackson 9th on the team and me 10th.
Oh, okay. So how do you think the season went?
Well, I thought for JV we did pretty good. Our record was 6-1, which I'll take any year.
6-1 in conference play, and we had a second place finish at a 16 team invite and a third place finish at a 20 team invite.
So how did the varsity team do that other one?
They did okay, just an average year. However, later on they kind of caught fire, and right now they're going to play in the regionals.
Oh, that's nice. How do you see the future of this golf team advancing in the next couple of years?
Well, our JV team has shown a lot of promise, but we're going to be losing some key seniors in Calvin Scala, Austin Cradwell, Jeffrey Prince, and Zach Wilson. But I think we got some good players coming up, and I think next year will be a good year.
Okay, and one last question. What do you plan on doing to improve your golf game this coming year?
Well, this summer I definitely want to work on my swing. You can always work on your swing, and you can never be perfect, so I'll try to do that.
And Cameron?
Well, we're gonna hit up some courses with JV coach Nolan Krentz. He's gonna take us out. We're gonna play some conference courses and just get a couple more swings in.
All right. look next year to see how the boys golf team does, and let's see how these two turn out. Maybe they'll even make it to state.
Friday, May 23rd, the Mount Horeb girls softball team won a conference game against the Waunakee Warriors. They won the game 7-4, but it wasn't easy for them. Junior pitcher Caitlin Massman gave up all 4 runs in the first inning, but after that she was a shutdown pitcher the coaches knew she was, recording 12 strikeouts in the last 6 innings. The Vikings hitting then exploded in the second inning when they hit for 5 runs. They then added 2 more runs in the 6th. Junior Lindsey Ballard led the way for the Vikings, going 3 for 3 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Sophomore Mel Hansen added 2 more hits and recorded 3 more RBIs. The Vikings hope to keep this success up heading into the postseason, where they start the road to the state tournament at Prairie du Chien. The girls soccer team is 8-6 on the year. They hope to achieve victory in the playoffs. Here's Hunter with more.
Thanks, Micah. The Mount Horeb girls soccer team came into the 2014 season ranked number 3 in Division 3. They had a shaky start to the season with an injury to junior defender Johanna Messick. The team's hopes were down, but junior forward Cassie Hendrick rallied the team and are looking forward to the postseason after their conference win against Baraboo Thunderbirds last night. The team's morale is up for the rest of the season and look forward to taking the Division 3 state title on June 21st in Milwaukee. And later, an interview with senior varsity player Garrett Spellman on the boys soccer team this fall.
Football is just around the corner and coming fast. This year, the Mount Horeb Barnveld Vikings look to achieve something that they have never done before: win a state title. This year looks hopeful for the Vikings, as they will have a record number of players coming out this year with 150. They also have the help of returning quarterback Max Myler, who won first team all-conference unanimously last year, and he looks to have an even better year than last. Although they will have to fill some big shoes with the dominant senior class leaving. They also look to have a big season on the defensive side of the ball. This year looks hopeful for the Vikings, and it's sure to be a good one. They kick off the season Friday, August 22nd at Monona Grove. The boys baseball team has had a rough season this year. Here's Hunter with more.
At the beginning of the season, the Mount Horeb varsity baseball team was expected to be one of the top teams in the Badger North Conference. It is no longer the end of the season, and the Vikings are far from the top. But leading the way is senior Jackson Gunlocked, who's helped keep their spirits up through the season and is having a breakaway season with the Vikings. Also, sophomore David Dressler has been a good spirit as he hit a walk-off home run 2 nights ago in Baraboo. The Vikings are looking forward to the rest of the season, but are probably hoping for the next season to come sooner rather than later. Back to you in the studio. Highly anticipated interview with Garrett Spellman is now.
Hi, I'm here today with Garrett Spellman, who's a member of the Mount Horeb boys varsity soccer team, and we're going to talk about how he thinks the season will be going. So Garrett, where do you play on the soccer team?
Center mid.
What exactly does that mean?
Basically, I play the defensive and offensive part of the game. So I just run around in the middle a lot.
Okay. How do you think the season is going to go in the fall?
Pretty good. We've got a lot of returning starting juniors and underclassmen that should be able to take the spots of the seniors that graduated. So pretty good.
That seems good. What do you see yourself doing? What are some of your goals for the season? For
Personal
you personally?
goals?
Yes, for you personally.
Well, I want to score some more goals because usually I don't. And I also want to make the varsity all-state special 11 group of guys that get picked. So that'd be exciting.
What do you think the goals are for the team this year?
I mean, obviously the ultimate goal would be going to state and winning it. But I guess the main thing would be improving and trying to get some of the younger players in it too.
All right, one last question. What do you plan to work on over the summer to improve your game?
Well, we have 2 captains practices a week and coach contact, along with a conditioning day once a week that we decided to do, and lifting weights with you over the summer.
All right, well, I hope the soccer season goes well for you and the team.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it's coming.
Come on, let's go! One more! One more! Yeah!
Under Armour, protect this house.
Hello everyone, welcome to Cam Cole's Beanbag Talk. This is a part of the newscast where I like to spend a little leisurely time talking about some controversial topics in Mount Horeb and giving my opinion on them. Today's topic is that it is time for Mount Horeb to build a new high school. There are three main reasons for building a new high school. The first reason is that we would be able to include an indoor pool in the building. An indoor pool would allow Mount Horeb to have its own swim team, so those poor swimmers don't have to drive to Verona every day. We would also be able to have some physical education classes or units where swimming can be involved. Lastly, you could open up the pool to the public for lessons or simply for leisure. The next reason for why we should build a new high school is so that the students and staff enjoy a proper heating system and actually experience air conditioning throughout the school. Our current high school does have heating throughout the school, but there are times where certain rooms could be very, very hot or even freezing cold. Our current high school does, however, lack air conditioning throughout the sophomore and freshman hallways. And if we built a new high school, we could have air conditioning throughout the entire school. The last reason for why we should build a new high school is to create better indoor facilities. Right now, our school's main gym, weight room, training room, and locker rooms aren't quite up to standards. The gym, weight room, and training room are all quite small and would be far better facilities if they were just a tad bit larger. As far as locker rooms, it would be an improvement if the girls' locker room was larger and connected, like the boys' locker room, rather than having two separate locker rooms for just the girls. As you can see, there are many reasons for why we should build a new high school, such as an indoor pool, improved new heating and air conditioning systems, as well as new, bigger, and improved indoor facilities. Let's make this happen, people. Support your Moholo News team as well as your fellow Moho citizens. Thanks for joining me, folks, and I'll see you next time on Cam Cole's Beanbag Talk.
Sad news today in Mount Horeb. The oldest citizen ever in Mount Horeb has died. Cameron Cole was 118 years old only 3 days ago. Cameron's life was filled with family and friends, but also some hard times. Cameron was drafted during World War I when he was only 19. He fought for his country with pride, trying to rid the world of evil. He was fighting in Europe on June 29, 1915, when his left arm was blown off by a grenade. He then returned to the States, where he married his love of his life, Patricia Polanco. They lived happily in their small house on the outside of Mount Horeb. Cameron has had 5 kids: Victor, CJ, Callie, Brittany, and the youngest, Gordon. They all live in Mount Horeb and say their dad was a loving man who never got upset about anything. Cameron's funeral will be on July 31st at 1 p.m. at Elliston Funeral Homes. Cameron will also be saluted with a 21-gun salute in honor of his service during World War I. Cameron will surely be missed throughout the town of Mount Horeb. Now, to a brighter story, the Pet of the Week, brought to you by Micah Sieg.
Thanks, Hunter. This week's Pet of the Week is a dog named Jake. Jake is a chocolate lab who is just 1 month old. This poor pup was left on the side of the road just outside of Mount Horeb just 4 days ago. The pup was found by the Humane Society just 1 day ago. Jake was found underweight for his age of just 1 month, at just 25 pounds. It shows that his owners just didn't care for him properly by not taking him to his pet visits and obviously not feeding him enough. As I mentioned, he was just 25 pounds at 1 month. What this pup needs is caring owners who can give him a lot of attention that he needs. His owners need to also have a lot of energy, because at just 1 month, everyone knows these puppies have a lot of energy all the time. He also needs a big place to play outside and run around and play. If you have other dogs, that is great, because Jake is a very social dog. He loves to play at dog parks and play tug of war with his owners.
So if you are ever in the area of the Dane County Humane Society, go check this wonderful dog out, and who knows, you may end up taking him home.
Folks, it's here. The newest club in golf has arrived. The Callaway FTIZ driver features the newest technology a driver can have. First, it features the Callaway 5X grip, which allows for more stable yet comfortable control of the club. Next, it features the Project X 6.0 S Flex shaft. This shaft offers great flexibility and forgiveness on your drives so you don't end up hooking it in the water hazard or those nasty weeds. The Callaway FTIZ's big breakout feature, though, is the all-new IZ power source. This power source allows the golfer to gain more power throughout the swing, resulting in more distance off the tee. The last feature of the Callaway FTIZ is the iMix face, which provides a soft feel when striking the ball, but also getting the desired distance that all golfers want. The Callaway FTIZ driver is now available with varying lofts between 8 and 10.5 degrees. Check out your local golf supplier for the all-new Callaway FTIZ driver.
It's tornado season across the country and here in Mount Horeb as well. Even though there haven't been many threats of tornadoes in the past in Mount Horeb, there is still the threat of one at any time. These are some simple steps you can follow to increase your tornado safety knowledge. Step 1. Help yourself. Get alerts on your phone that tell you when there is a threat of a tornado in your area. This is the simplest and most effective way of helping yourself in the case of a tornado. Step 2. Find shelter. If you're in a situation where you need to seek safety, your best bet is to find an enclosed area like a barn, shed, or house. When seeking shelter, try to stay clear of windows or any objects that might easily be thrown around by the high-speed winds of the tornado. Step 3. Stock up on food and water. If you have a place to go during a tornado, make sure to have ample food and water supply in case of a tornado emergency. With these tips, you should be better prepared for the next tornado threat that might occur in your area in the near future.
Thanks, Hunter, for those helpful tips. Well, it's that time of year again. Madden season. This football video game hit the stores last weekend, and it has been bought out of stock in countless places. This popular game is a hit every year, so far this year seems to be no exception. The makers of the game, EA Sports, says that it's always exciting to release this game and watching everyone react to the new features. As usual, the graphics have been improved, and it appears as though you may be watching an actual game of football. Also, the physics have become enhanced, and the players move more realistically on the field than ever before. EA Sports says that the players can even think and anticipate plays themselves. These new features have been greatly appreciated by Madden fans, as the sales have suggested. If you are interested in this game, visit easports.com for more information.
If you're looking for something to do this summer, here's a couple options. Head down to the Mount Horeb Frolic, June 5th through the 8th at Grendel Park. Or head to lacrosse for the state baseball tournament, June 15th. There's also the Girls State Soccer Tournament, June 19th through the 20th, that the Mount Horeb girls have a chance to go to. The Fire Muster is also June 6th. If you're not into sports or anything like that, the Art Fair is probably the right thing for you. It is July 15th through the 17th. And the annual Relay for Life in Mount Horeb is the 23rd through the 24th.
Be sure to check those out, Micah. Now, there are many great movies out there right now, including many great action films. The Hunger Games movies are no exception to this, and the most recent movie in the series, Catching Fire, does not fail to impress. To begin, the overall concept of the Hunger Games is very intriguing. The idea of a bloodthirsty American society in the future is very different than any other movie and will draw anyone in. Next, the special effects and the visual appeals are phenomenal. I believe that the producers very accurately portrayed what a futuristic world may look like. Everything from flaming clothes to countless deaths of all kinds, it all looked like it was real. Most of the acting was also spot on. As usual, Jennifer Lawrence was on top of her game, capturing all of our hearts as a poor girl trying to help her family. However, if I were to say a negative thing about Catching Fire, it would be the acting of Woody Harrelson. who played a Hamish, a drunk. In my opinion, he overplayed it and he tried to be too dramatic in an attempt to really capture the role. But other than that, the movie was great, and I was at the edge of my seat for the entire film. To conclude, I would rate it a 4.3 stars out of 5.
This week in health, a new breakthrough in the search for a cure for diabetes. Researchers at UW-Madison have created what they think to be a steroid to allow the pancreas to create insulin again. This would be the biggest breakthrough of its kind in ever. This would not only help the 25.8 million people in America who have diabetes, but the 371 million worldwide. This breakthrough also has researchers studying its effects on people who do not have diabetes, thinking it could be a more natural energy boost for people everywhere. The only problem with the new steroid, researchers say, is that it could be inconsistent from person to person. This would be a huge problem as long as they can figure out if it is affected by weight, height, metabolism, or other factors that the body could produce. This breakthrough surely has everybody on their toes and has their attention around the world. Donations are flying in from everywhere to help boost the research. The new steroid will hopefully be on shelves by this time next year. Now to you guys.
This week's Business of the Week is Norsk Golfing Bowl, run by owner Ned McGinley. As the golf season begins, more and more golfers are making their way out to the beautiful 9-hole course. Norsk also features an 8-lane bowling alley, horseshoe pits, as well as a full restaurant/bar. If golf isn't quite your game, don't forget that owner Ned McGinley is a PGA professional and offers private lessons. If golf is your game, check out Norsk's online website for a calendar of events and tournaments where you can show your skills. Bravo to Ned McGinley and the rest of the staff at Norsk. Hats off to you.
From Business of the Week, we now go to This Week in Technology, where I take a look at the newest technology around. First, the newest iPhone came out. The iPhone 6 has taken the world by storm, with its new features such as a holographic keyboard, built-in projector, and longer battery life. Another piece of new technology is RoboDog. This battery-operated dog can do amazing things, such as fetching anything it is told, making real barking noises, and playing with its owner. A third new technology is the Note Taker Pro. This is designed for students in school to help take notes. Just turn on the tablet and it records whatever the teacher is teaching you. The final new technology, and perhaps the most astounding, is the world's first carbon dioxide car. When heated, carbon dioxide combusts. It powers the engine like regular gasoline. When the carbon dioxide is released, it is captured and reused to power the car. This energy can be used over and over, and it could possibly become a popular choice in our future. Well, that concludes This Week in Technology. Join me next week to see if the world has accomplished new things.
This year's 2014 graduating class gave us many things to be proud of, whether it was in sports, music, or other things they were a part of. The things that these seniors gave us were so many that it's just too hard to count, but let's just touch on a few. In sports, they gave us many things to be proud of, including a 2011 soccer state championship their sophomore year and a runners-up finish the following year. In girls soccer, they brought home 2 runner-up finishes their sophomore and junior seasons. In football, they gave us thrilling rides to the postseason many times, including a runners-up finish their junior years, just one step away from state. In girls gymnastics, they brought home 2 runner-up finishes their junior and senior seasons. In boys basketball, they also gave us thrilling rides in the postseason all 4 years, and most of all, their last, making it to the sectional final and falling just short of a trip to state. These were just a few sports accomplishments, but there are many more. In music, the senior musicians represented Mount Horeb at State Solo Ensemble all 4 years of their high school careers. The musicians also gave us amazing halftime shows at our football games, and not to mention the pep band at all of our home basketball games. But most of all, besides these great accomplishments, the graduating class of 2014 are all genuinely nice people, and that is the most important thing about them, and that is something to be proud of.
This week on Hunter's Hot Topic, should the words "under God" be left in the Pledge of Allegiance? The number one reason people say it shouldn't be in there is because it simply says "under God." But which God? The Christian God? The Muslim God? Who knows? but what I do know is equality, so I can see why people can be offended. So there's a simple solution for you folks out there who are offended. Don't say the phrase. Simple as that. If you are of a religion, though, say under God, or say under the name of your God. This was everybody says what they want, and nobody gets offended. This concludes Hunter's Hot Topic for this week. Have a good night, Mount. I'm Hunter Post.
And I'm Jackson Seymour.
I'm Micah Sieg.
And I'm Cameron Cole. This is Maholo News. Signing off. Let's go one more, Hunter! One more! Oh, jeez, that was terrible.
Good afternoon and welcome to Moho 10 News. I'm Jackson Seymour.
I'm Cameron Cole.
And tonight,
You said good afternoon.
Yeah, I know.
afternoon.
Oh
Welcome.
my God.
Oh. I'll sure have to check those out, Mike.
Oh, wow!
I'll sure be sure.
Hunter Post.
Jackson Seymour.
Micah Sieg.
And I'm Cameron Cole. This is Maholo News. Signing off.
Oh, shoot.
I am here in Grundle Park where an interesting discovery has been made.
Jackson, what do you got?
A big congratulations go out to Mr. Malucky for winning that award. Now I'm here in Grundle Park where an interesting discovery has been made. Local Mount Horeb citizen Abraham Frank.
Doctors worldwide are working on diabetes cure.
Is that true?
No. Did you stop it?
No.
Stop it. And don't dance over there.
I wasn't.
Yes, you were. Stop it, dude.
It's not recording.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. No, you gotta start saying
This
something.
week's business of the week, Norse Golfing Bowl.
Bingo! What really grinds my gears when people can't stand for 30 seconds out of their day to say the Pledge of Allegiance. So,
Boo. Life. Another piece of new technology is RoboDog. This battery operated. Okay, if you.
is it appropriate to say his left arm was blown off by a grenade? Oh, seriously. Like, seriously, I want to say that he was. I said he was fighting in Europe
still
on
recording.
June 29th, 1915, when his left arm was blown off. Okay, well, we.
I'm gonna try to say.
Leave it.
I'm gonna say.
Leave it.
No, stop it.
I'm gonna try to whisper 1, 2, 3.
That's a.
Ah, man.
Micah!
Thanks, Hunter. Do you mind?